ooh, I'm good. Did that shit on simultaneously connection. Take my shoes off because I'm the real connection. No Nate Dogg, nigga. I don't even think Nate Dogg had anything to do with the word connection, but nobody cares, okay?
Definitely didn't.
I'm allowed to be unapologetically black. Okay?
Huh?
What you mean, huh? I'm allowed to be unapologetically black.
Okay.
Am I not allowed to be unapologetically black, Negro?
I didn't know what that had to do with Nate Dogg.
It didn't have nothing to do with Nate Dogg. You better lay low, nigga. It didn't have nothing to do with Nate Dogg. I just was, I don't know. Let's start the show. I'm over here. Never mind. This is who I really am, y'all. A confused, deranged woman. No,
She said it. I didn't.
I was just playing. I was just playing. Okay, let me stop playing for real. Let's jump into the show. Welcome to With Your Old Ass Podcast, where my young old ass and my co-hosts bring you life discussions, difference of opinions, and we check in on mental health and the well-being of our guests when we have them. Now, if you allow my young old ass and my co-host to borrow your ears for a minute, we'd gladly appreciate it. Because I am your host, Tay Nicole.
I'm Pac Manley, your co-host.
And we are
With Your Old Ass Podcast.
So, as y'all all know, this is the check-in where we gonna check in. So, how was your week so far, Pat?
It was cool, normal. I don't know if y'all know what normal is, but, normal.
Normal? I don't know. Mine just went by fast because I really don't really remember what happened at all this week. Yeah, I don't remember what happened at all this week. Couldn't tell you. Yeah, don't remember. How have you been?
I am good. How have you been?
I've been wonderful. I think. I don't know. I've had sleep insomnia for the past couple weeks, so I don't know if I'm coming or going. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm a little lost. Like my head just.
You're in America. Sorry.
I know I'm in America, but I'm just saying, mentally, I'm just all over the place. That sleep anxiety thing, it just kind of messed me up a little bit. I don't know how to explain it, but it kind of just messed me up a little bit. What about you? How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Mentally all right?
Yeah, I'm mentally good. Nothing changed, nothing exciting happened.
Still just making regular day-to-day steps to make yourself better, huh?
Yep.
Good. Any advice for anybody today? Last week you told them to take time off of work.
Yeah.
That was great advice, by the way.
It's always going to be take time off from work. Saying you need your you time and your me time. And, but I know you got to pay bills and make your money, but take some time off of work. I'm not saying just call off. Make sure you put that PTO in so you can get your money instead of missing out on money. Do it the right way.
Get that money. My advice is, if there's something in this world that you really, truly, truly want and that you're passionate about, go for it. Don't let the naysayers or people who have their own internal doubt and their own self-pity block you from your journey. Allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to make mistakes, and allow yourself to break down and just be unapologetically you. That's my advice. So, Before we jump in to the next segment, I want to take a little pause. We haven't really been too far into the show yet, but I do want to take a little pause. And I want to encourage everyone to, subscribe. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Hey guys, before we continue the show, because we're going to continue the show, we ain't got started yet. But I do want to take a moment to thank you guys for tuning in, and I pray that you guys continue to tune in with us and make sure you continue to watch even after this is going off. Myself and Pac are very grateful and thankful for any and everyone who tunes in, and make sure you guys just continue to watch us grow. We are a community, we are a family, we are a safe space for any and all well-beings, as long as they're respectfully. We do not tolerate any bashing of any genders at all, and we do not tolerate any racism, just to let you guys know. So if you're coming with any of that, got to go. We do have a thing called freedom of speech in this world, though. So, express yourself. We'll understand. Pac, anything else you want to add to that?
Well, I'm not going to say like, subscribe, or none of that, but make sure you...
With all that being said, let's get back to the show. And once again, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, with that being said, let's jump right into it. We're going straight to segment 2, which is...
Topic of discussion.
And in this topic of discussion, we're talking about prenups?
Prenups.
No prenup versus prenup. Ooh, wee. And your host right here, your co-host, he picked it. It wasn't me. I ain't picked this topic. He did. So we're going to jump right into it, So, of course, the first episode, I made you go first. So, I'm going to do it again. No, I'm just kidding. So, of course, topic of discussion for today is no prenup versus prenup. And this isn't to target anyone in particular. This is just a normal conversation that we want to have with you guys when it comes to the marital status and getting married and what it is and what it ain't. You dig what I'm saying? So, ultimately, for the Black community, now don't get me wrong, all communities go through these things, but we have the Black community, so we talk about the Black community when we say community. Does not having a prenup versus having a prenup have any type of effect, or have you ever noticed it had any kind of effect on the Black community?
No.
I feel like it does have an effect on the Black community a little bit.
Care to elaborate?
For example, like I said, I ain't targeting nobody. Just want to use this young man as an example because this one that was very popular, Travis Hunter. The amount of people, Black people, you need to get a prenup. You need to get a prenup. You need to get a prenup. Don't get me wrong. We had people back in the day like Jessica Simpson, her daddy. You know what I'm saying? He messed up, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, but with Travis Hunter, the amount of people in the Black community kept telling him he needed to get a prenup because that girl don't love you. That girl just with you because you're getting some money and this, that, and the third. He turned around and he married the girl with no prenup, right? Now, in the Black community, a prenup to them is to protect the assets. Like, that's how we instantly look at it. It's to protect our assets, to protect our money because they wasn't with us when we was getting to the money, so they shouldn't be allowed to get more than what they deserve. Is how we look at it. Right?
In the words of Rick Ross, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
But to me, I feel like it affects the Black community because you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you get a prenup, oh, he don't really love her. And vice versa. Oh, she don't really love him. But if you don't get a prenup, oh, you an idiot. They're going to take you for everything you got. We focus more on that than any other culture, I feel like. I feel like silently the other cultures may bring it up, but they don't publicize it as much as we do when it comes to that. That's why I feel like it affects our community because we're too busy focused on that part. You can't dictate somebody else's life. If they don't want a prenup, they don't want a prenup. I'm just keeping it real. Now, me personally, we're growing together. I'm not going to ask for a prenup from somebody that I'm growing with. Oh, hell. We'll get into that later. But I just feel like it affects our community in that way, in that sense. You don't have to elaborate at all. If you don't have any.
Well, only reason I say no is because like I wasn't going that deep into it. I was just thinking, regular 9 to 5 people. Most people don't get married with prenups.
Yeah.
Only people that have, that bag or that money or whatever, or contract or whatnot, that is the people that mostly get prenups. So,
That's where you were going with it.
Yeah, that's where I was going. When you said community, I was thinking of
a broader base. Okay.
That instead of the minority who are entertainers, athletes, stuff like that.
Okay. So on that side though, for general population, it still does have an effect on the community though.
It does. But
and to me, and you said no for you, and that's fine. We difference of opinion. We're gonna get to that soon. Now, is there a problem? So you already heard from what I told y'all. I feel like yes, there's a problem here in the community when it comes to the prenup, no prenup situation. But do you think there's a problem? Like, is there a problem to where not having a prenup in the general population, since you said the general population, that's a problem? Do you think that's a problem, not having one versus having one?
No.
Okay. Now, when it comes to our community, is there a problem?
No.
Okay. Now, since you don't see that there's a problem, then there's no need for you to say whether you do or don't see a middle in the ball game, or do you feel like there's a middle? No.
No.
Okay. For me, since I do see the arguments, there is a middle. I do get the concept of other people feeling like a person should protect their finances. I get it. I do. I see the middle in it. But at the same time, it's like, mind your business, bruh. If a person don't want a prenup, then let them get screwed. That's their problem, not yours. Who cares? Like, y'all sitting here running your mouth about something. Difference of opinion. We'll get there in a second. Is this argument worthy?
Yes, it is. Y'all
know I think it's argument worthy.
Everybody, has a difference of opinion, but I'm sorry, I totally lost track where I was going.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm with you, because y'all know I think it's argument worthy. Y'all see, I got a whole lot to say about how I feel about it. Does having a prenup or not having a prenup, and I know the answer to that. I know my own answer to this. Does it affect the world?
Good question. Does not having a prenup and having a prenup affect the world? Yes.
In what way? Ooh, I'm intrigued, because I thought he was going to say something different.
It does affect the world because a lot of people are nosy.
Ooh, you going that route.
And, like she said earlier, so if a person gets a prenup, they get a prenup. They don't. Especially these entertainers, actors, sports figures, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't affect you at all if that person gets a prenup and doesn't get a prenup, but you will sit back and argue with a person you don't even know, can't even see online, and that will change your whole mood for your whole day. And you might cuss out your boss or cuss out your old lady or your old man or something. You know what I'm saying? That energy might transfer to another person, which it was not intended for. So, yeah, that's how I would say it affect the world.
Well, damn.
Wasn't seeing me going there, huh?
No, I didn't. That's what the youngins be doing. No, but I agree. Because I was sure, like, I wonder if he gonna say no, it don't have an impact on the world. And I wasn't gonna judge you if you did. Oh. No, I'm just playing. I wouldn't judge you. It's a judgment free zone. However, though, I do agree that it impacts the world. Just because look at the amount of people who engulf themselves in other people's business. How many people they're so intertwined with what you did or didn't do. And honestly, I would have never known nothing about this Travis Hunter young man if it wasn't plastered all over the internet. I wouldn't know nothing about it. Because I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not a nosy person. I mind my business. Okay? But that's how much those type of things impact the world because so many people have turned journalism into rumorism. They love to gossip. They love to jump into the next person's life and tear it apart, which is how that it can affect not only just the black community but the entire world. Because when that man has kids, regardless if it's with her or another woman, when he has kids, and any other man or any other woman who has a prenup or no prenup, and they see that on the internet, now they're going to question: was my daddy wrong for not getting a prenup? Was my mama wrong for not signing a prenup? Was and vice versa. That's what they're going to see, and kids are going to be like, okay, so when I get grown and I get to making money, I need to get a prenup. Or no, I don't need a prenup because it worked out for my daddy. His wife stayed, or it worked out for my mama. Her husband stayed. You know what I'm saying? So it plays on the weak minded, those who don't have their own opinion. It impacts them the most because when you have your own opinion, when you have your own stance, and you don't follow the trend, you don't follow the herd, and you're a pack leader, then you're fine. But when you're weak, no pun intended. But when you're weak minded, oh baby, you gonna fall. So that's definitely a big impact on the entire world when it comes to this battle about a prenup or no prenup. It holds such core value to folks. Cause I got people that I know to this day that should have got a prenup. But hey, that was their choice.
I'm looking at you, Paul McCartney. I'm sorry.
I'm weak. And it's really, but at the same time, let me redact that statement actually, because you should have got a prenup because you didn't feel like you needed one, and whatever happened. You was willing to take that risk, and that's fine. It might have bit you in the ass, but you was willing to take that bite in the ass, and it is what it is. But there are a few people I know that's regretting not getting one now. I ain't gonna say no names.
I'm looking at you, Paul McCartney.
He gonna keep saying names, but it's just that's a whole nother field and a whole nother ball game to have to accept. But not having a prenup or having a prenup definitely impacts this world, hands down. There's no way around it. It's probably some of the most talked about things in this world.
It is.
Well, we still don't have any sponsors.
I'm not even gonna do that.
We don't have any sponsors, but we do have our number 8s, if you haven't noticed. Big dog over here.
Big dog over here.
Bark like you want it. Oh, no. I was just playing. But that was topic of discussion. So that was a topic about prenups. I kind of dove a little bit into difference of opinion because my opinion be strong about a lot of stuff. But before we jump into difference of opinion, is there anything else you want to touch on about the topic of discussion before we jump into it? Or are you ready to jump right into difference of opinion?
I'm ready to jump into
let's jump into difference of opinion. Take the flow, Pac.
Wasn't ready for that.
I think I went first last time, so.
Oh,
man. It's 3 to 5 minutes on floor time. Let me clarify if you don't know, because I didn't even clarify. Let me clarify for those who may not know, who didn't maybe watch the first episode or any episode yet. Difference of opinion is a segment where you get 3 to 5 minutes to unapologetically speak your truth about the topic of discussion. and also maybe vent or rant about something in particular that, holds value to this episode. So, with that being said, what time is it, Pac? You got 5 minutes at the max. Go for it.
Jeez. Well, my thing with prenup is, you know, it your grandmama and your granddaddy ain't getting no prenup. I'm just saying it's for regular people. Yeah, it's not, prenups are not that important. Because like was said earlier, if you do get a prenup, that person's gonna think that you love them. You know, do you really love them? Do you really think that I'm just after your paper? If you don't get one, people gonna be in your ear. Oh, you should have got one. I ain't got no money to get one. What's she gonna take? My Xbox?
My socks.
My socks? No, but it's is yes, prenups are there to protect your financial benefits or whatever, money, and what you done acquired. I forget the comedian who said it, but if you come into this relationship with a garbage bag and I got a whole money, 3, 4 money bags over here, yeah, you should probably leave with your garbage bag. But, not to say that I'm not going to be a good person and, you know, give you something to leave with, but to take half of what I built without you, that's, that's a horrible thing. Like, I understand, if you ain't got no kids with that person, yeah, why should that person be entitled to half of what you put your blood, sweat, and tears into?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can be a generous person and, you know, give them a severance package, as they say. So
This man just checked his watch because he running out of things.
I'm running out of
Are
words.
you done?
Yeah,
You feel like you're done?
I feel like I'm done.
Okay. And you don't have to. You can always stop if you feel like you need to say what you need to say. It's perfectly fine. Because you know me, I'm a talker. I can go on for hours and hours. But to piggyback off of something that you said, when it comes to basically damned if you do, damned if you don't. Coming with your garbage bag and leaving with your garbage bag. The problem that ensues with a prenup versus no prenup is that, like you said, if I ask you for a prenup, you're gonna question whether or not I think you really love me or not, and that means internally you're questioning that yourself. Is what you think ultimately, but that's not always the case. In some cases, a person puts a prenup in place, even if you don't have anything. Sometimes a person puts a prenup in place to specifically line out. It's kind of like a will, if you think about it. It specifically lines out, if you do it right, if I grow this by myself, and if you write it right, if I grow this by myself, this is what I take. But if we grow this together, this is what we split. And that's really how a prenup should be written. It's not to be looked at as a bad thing. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't write a prenup because I don't have to worry about him trying to take me for all I got. And he can smirk and make funny faces all he want. But I know, and on top of that, he ain't going nowhere. Um, unless the Lord call him home. Other than that, I couldn't see him. But you know what? Then again, I can't speak for the future. I don't know what's gonna happen in his lifetime. I could blow up, be this big celebrity, and he could be like, "You changed." Bye. You never know. You know what I'm saying? But
You changed by hilarious. Sorry.
but at the end of the day, to be upset with a person because they ask you for a prenup to me is very immature. It's very out of character. Now, of course, I understand there's some people who get a prenup and they do malicious intent inside those prenups, which is why you should have a good attorney that reads through the prenup and make sure you're not going to be just set on your ass if y'all get a divorce. But there's nothing wrong with getting a prenup at all. If I was to get a prenup, my prenup would state how I wanted it to be. It'd be ironclad and it'll specifically line out, these are my individual growths. These are our collective growths. And I'm willing to part 50-50 with our collective growths, but I'm not willing to part with my individual growths. And I feel like that's not selfish. But I also feel like I shouldn't have to ask you, and I wouldn't have to ask you to accept the fact that anything individual that I've grown, because to this day, it's the same thing. You collect a check, I collect a check. Do I ask you for your check? No. Do you ask me for my check? No. But do we do wants for one another? Yes. We don't need a damn prenup to tell us that that's okay to do. However, some people do. So for me, do what works for you. A motherfucker can't tell you what to do. Y'all this worrying about whether or not, oh, I got a prenup because daddy said I should get one, or mama said, did you want one? If you want to get bit in the ass, just say you want to get bit in the ass. But don't sit here and be trying to blame, oh, my mama told me that I need to get a prenup, and use that as your excuse when you come to your spouse and be like, I need a prenup. No, that's a cop-out. You want a prenup. Because if you didn't want one, you wouldn't ask for one. And vice versa. If you don't want one, and people are telling you, like, no, I ain't getting no prenup, I ain't getting no prenup. And everybody like, get a prenup. You're like, no, I ain't getting no prenup. And you get bit in the ass. Don't come complaining to them because you got bit in the ass because they told you to get a prenup. And you said no. You was willing to take that fall. You was willing to take that risk. Accept it. Now, I just seen on Shannon Sharp not too long ago. I can't think of the gentleman's name at the very moment. But there was this white guy on Shannon Sharp. Damn, I wish I could think of this cat's name. But he was basically saying he didn't have no prenup. When him and his wife got a divorce, they divorced amicably. They didn't have any like issues or anything like that. And I'm surprised I got that word out smooth like I did, because I be messing up words. But anyway, they got a divorce, and she has power to go into his bank account and get whatever she wants. No questions asked. He went so far to double down. Shannon said so if she needed $500,000 for her new wedding with her new man, he said she could take it. He literally said I wouldn't even notice if she took money out of the account. How much money do you got in the first place? Let me mind my business. But when he said, I was like, see, he one of those that took a risk. But at the same time, though, this is my last point I'm going to make. I do understand when a person who has made millions before they met you and they ask you to get a prenup. That I do understand. I understand. It's not that you don't love a person, but at the same time, depending on what industry and field you're in, you can't always trust that that person is on the up and up. They can show that they're on the up and up in the beginning. 5-10 years later down the road, they implanted their feet. They done had kids with you. Now they got you by the balls. So what better time to strike? And then depending on what state you live in, 5 to 10 years is long enough for them to take half your shit. So I get it. I'm not judging you. Judgment free, baby. That's just my take on it, though. Drop down in the comments and tell me what y'all think. What do y'all think? Prenup, no prenup? What works for you? What rocks your boat in this world? If you was making them M's or 100,000s, because you ain't even got to make banking M's, you can make a couple 100,000s. If you was making that kind of money, is there a prenup involved in your household? What about you, Pac? Is there a prenup involved in your household?
Nope.
See, same page. That's why that's my partner in crime. So, with that being said, I think I've said all I wanted to say about this subject. I think Pac has said everything so far that he might have wanted to say about this subject. But before we close out...
I'm sorry, dust falling in my face. I seen it. Sorry.
Before we close out, I do want to give y'all a serious thank you for allowing us to borrow your ears and you guys tune in and listen to what we got to bring to y'all. We're going to continue to bring out these episodes. It's going to get bigger and better as time progresses, as equipment progresses, and that space allows. Hopefully, sometime soon we can get some guests in here and, spruce up the joint. But until next time, I have been your host, Tay Nicole.
I'm your co-host, Pac Manley.
And we are
with your old ass podcast. And the reason why I picked this is because if you go listen to verse 4 of International Players, you'll see why I kept saying Paul McCartney.
Now I gotta go listen to it because I want to know what you're talking about.
Big Boy's verse.
Oh,
Sent that bitch to outer space. I know he wish he could. Today he took whatever, and now that bitch is eating good. Yeah.
Oh, I never caught that.
Yeah, he was talking about Paul McCartney's situation.
As in, like, the country singer Paul McCartney?
No, Paul McCartney, the Beatle.
Is the Beatles considered country?
No, they're just pop.
Oh, okay. Well, I still know who he was talking about then.
But yeah.
I for some reason, I don't know why I thought the Beatles was considered country, but they consider pop. Okay.
Yeah, his ex-wife got him for a lot.
So did, was it Jessica Simpson? Hey, wasn't it her, Nick Lachey? Ain't that her ex-husband?
Mm-hmm.
He got her ass good, too.
Yep.
But that's her daddy's fault, because she wanted a prenup, but her daddy told her no, because her daddy thought that Nick was going to take off. And he didn't. She did. And her daddy fucked her good, because Nick walked away with half hush. Mm-hmm. Boy, I'm telling you, when I tell you I would have been in there fighting my daddy, boy, he would have had to see every bit of me. He would have had to get these hands. Because, bro, what is you on? You my father. You should be protecting me.
Right.
Not trying to leash me out here like some little, like you trying to pimp and whore. That's what he thought he was on. Like you trying to pimp me out, and then you got me pimped. You got me pimped.
Yep.
That's why parents should mind their business. Okay, maybe not 100%. Sometimes parents do need to intervene. Actually, now that I think about it, because sometimes they do need to. Yeah, sometimes they do need to step in and tell their kid like, Because I'm gonna just keep it real. I wish my some of my aunts would have told their sons but instead they was talking about it behind. Let me mind my business before my family see this and try to sue me.
Cut. That's a wrap.
Hey man, listen, once again, thank y'all for tuning in to With Your Old Ass Podcast. Until next time, check us out next week. Peace.
Deuces. Is this my camera?
He's childish.
I'm sorry.
It ain't his camera.
Well, technically, they're both yours, but.
Cheers to you for giving me a chance. I'll be your angel.